Morning, guys.
Todd, I don't know if you look back on tape as actively in a final game as you would most weeks, but just what stands out to you when you look back on the way things unfolded yesterday?
We fought. I thought we made some mistakes in the fourth quarter. They got the game away from us that we normally didn't make, and we fought hard. We didn't play smart in the fourth quarter.
Can you elaborate on that in terms of kind of what area, not pointing the finger at players, but just what areas you feel kind of unraveled for you?
The areas I would point out would be pointing the fingers at players.
What are you most proud of about the 2023 season?
Just the fight and the effort. Those guys stayed together. Proud of the coaching staff. Proud of all the departments that took care of the players. Equipment staff, trainers, nutritionists, strength staff. The building completely came together as a group. It was enjoyable to come to work every day. And everybody worked hard. Everybody worked hard to have a hand in this. Sorry we couldn't see it through, but I'm very proud of the effort everybody put in.
Towards the off season, this is kind of your first off season, with some cap room and some financial flexibility after, obviously last year and your first year. What are you looking forward to? It's kind of putting your own stamp on this roster.
It's a little early right now, still getting over the game a little bit. We know we got a lot of decisions to make, some tough ones here and then some outside on the horizon. So hopefully we can get some better guys in here and continue what we've been doing and get better next year and go further.
Now, when you look at these two games against the Lions, Jared Goff wasn't affected as much as you probably would have wanted him to be in terms of getting sacks and pressures, and then didn't throw an interception either. It was just kind of a situation on defense where you tried to play coverage, rush forward, didn't get enough, or if you blitz him, he's really good at picking apart one-on-one matchups.
No, we did a little of both. The biggest thing was the underneath coverage. Like I said earlier, they didn't get as much. They got out late. Going into the fourth quarter, we held them down pretty good. They started making some plays in the fourth quarter, give them a lot of credit. They got a lot of talent. Some things we didn't do as well in the fourth quarter that we did well the first three quarters. But he's a great quarterback. They have a very good football team, and the better team won yesterday.
Todd, Levante turns 34 tomorrow. Can you just speak to the level he continues to play at? If the business side worked out, would you like to have him back?
Love to have him back. He's one of my favorite players I've ever coached. Don't even look at his age. He plays timeless. He plays timeless football. He plays it the right way. He prepares the right way. He's the ultimate professional.
How would you characterize the season that Devin White had?
It's probably up and down. Some injured, up and down like our season. We had some good days. We had some bad days, and I can say that about a lot of guys that played that way.
We've talked a lot about the national and outside expectations of this team compared to the optimism you had in-house, but there were very real financial limitations on this season in terms of how much of the cap was devoted to old contracts, how much space and flexibility you had to add players in the spring. How does this success, winning a division, winning a single playoff game, compare to what your reasonable expectations were for this team?
As a coach and as players and competitors, you don't even look at the money. When you put a product out there, when you go to work every day, you're supposed to win. That's how I'm built anyway. That's how we're built as a team. Regardless of how much money you're making, you're supposed to do the best job you can coaching. They're supposed to do the best job they can playing. And we figured if we did that, we'd give ourselves a chance. And we gave ourselves a chance without even looking at all that. I understand in hindsight that may play a role in everything, but that's not how we looked at the season. and we played that way. We played that way and prepared that way, and that's why we probably got as far as we've gotten. So I don't really look at that. That kind of takes care of itself. We understood going in what it would be, but that wasn't an excuse for us to be bad.
Jay Britt played 64 snaps yesterday. Has he earned the right to start next year?
It's too early for that. I think he played well. There's definitely a place for him next year, and we'll probably get into that as we go into the spring, but we like him.
Todd, you and Jason Light, over these last 2 years, the drafts that you've combined on, you've found 10 starters, including Trey Palmer as your #3 receiver. How important is this upcoming draft going to be to find some more impactful players that can really help take this team to the next level, considering you're such a homegrown team with your draft?
It's important every year. You're going to lose some free agents. You're going to lose some to injury, some to retirement. So you're going to have 15 to 18 new guys every year. So the draft is, you need to get half of that right, at least to have about 6 or 7 guys that's going to help contribute. And I think the scouting staff does a great job of identifying talent that fits us, that are our type of players, and bringing them in here. We know what to expect as coaches and how to use them, and we make that work as a group, And we make that work as a group. There's a great chemistry that goes on upstairs between the scouting staff and the coaching staff, that we get the right players that fit our system that help us win.
Todd, you spoke about Levante. You spoke about KJ Britt. Has Devin White played his last snap with the Bucs?
I don't know. He's a free agent from a business standpoint. I love Devin to death. From a free agent standpoint, I know it's a business and things have to be out there, but we'll work together and work some things out, and hopefully we can come out with something.
Based on the season Mayfield just had, how much in demand do you think he would be if he hits the free agent market?
It's a good question. I'm pretty sure he'd be in demand. I don't know to what aspect he'll be in demand. Obviously, the money plays a lot in part in free agency, and loyalty plays a lot of part in free agency, and actually who wants you and where you can go and what you can afford plays a lot, and how you see yourself in certain systems. So it'll be a tricky thing. He was great here. We love him to death. Hopefully it works out for us.
As far as on your side of the ball, who do you think was the most improved this year, and who do you think kind of just surprised you?
I don't know if anybody surprised me. Most improved can go before Mike Green got hurt. He was playing good football. I thought Logan Hall came a good long way. Zion McCullum will probably win that as far as most improved from last year to this year. The versatility he showed, the toughness he showed, as mild-mannered as he is off the field. He plays like a rocket when he's on the field. Really loved what he did this year.
I know you still got a lot of evaluation you're going to do, but you have faced some of the best teams in the NFL. Just as far as right now, what are some areas you would like to see your team get better in?
We got to get better at everything. Coaching-wise, you want to get better at situational football all the way around. Defensively, I know for sure third downs we got to get better at. We used to be good in 2-minute. We gave up some 2-minute plays. We can look back and point at a myriad of things. We'd like to get the running game even better than it was. It got better, but we can get it better. We like to have a better return game and special teams. There's a lot of things we can get better at from a coaching standpoint, a lot of things to get better at from a teaching standpoint, from a playing standpoint. That's just coaching. That's constant football for us.
Is one of those areas takeaways, especially interceptions? You're looking at 13 interceptions this year, probably under the number you were trying to hit, and 9 of those came from the secondary. Is that an area that, given the volume of passes that you face every year, you'd love to see more takeaways from your secondary?
Given the volume, yes, but we're still top 10 in takeaways. Given the volume, you'd love to have them. We can catch better, I can tell you that much. Always like to get turnovers. You can never have enough. You can never have enough turnovers. So, again, that's another area we can get better at.
After last season, you made some changes on your staff, mostly on offense, on both sides of the ball. Do you have any sense in terms of whether you expect to have your staff back intact, or any changes will be made?
Unless they all get promotions, I expect to have them all back.
I don't think you were asked this after the game. Could you just discuss your decision to go for 2 there at the end after that final touchdown?
Yeah, because it would have put us down 6, and if we had scored again, we would have got the extra point. If it didn't go, we had to score again. We go for 2 anyway to tie the ball game. So it was reasonable thinking at the time.
What do you think turned this season around, Todd, when you were 4-7? Could have went one of 2 ways, and it went the way of you end up being one of only 8 teams still in the playoffs.
Can't really put a finger on it. I just know after we lost the San Francisco game 27-20, and we knew the mistakes we made, and we were in it against a great team, we felt like we had a chance to be decent. And we felt like we were close, and we had to cut out the mistakes, and we understood the assignment. I think the veterans locked in, and the coaches did a great job of keeping the outside noise out. And we just worked on eliminating the mistakes that we were making, whether it was the penalties, whether it was the communication, eliminated the mistakes, and we started winning little by little, and guys started believing, and, it kind of carried us to this point.
Did that Atlanta comeback in the fourth quarter make a big difference?
Oh, that was huge. You know, we believed we could win, and that's a big thing. I don't know early in the year, towards the middle, that we thought we believed we could win, and if we did, we were making too many mistakes to win. To come back from that and understand we can come back and be in ball games and win at the end were from the mistakes we made early in the year when we lost, obviously, to Houston and a couple of those other teams, even Atlanta the first time. So to come back and get that drive at the end of the ball game was huge for us.
Some teams, when they're down, they just stay down and kind of allow themselves to get kicked around. What separates the teams that are able to get back up and you know, find a way to get over that the way yours did?
It's mental toughness. You know, it's mental toughness. It comes from the coaches. It comes from the vets. It comes from the players. Just mental toughness, taking your lumps, understanding and staying together. The culture and the camaraderie has to play a part in that, and you have to overcome some things to become mentally tough.
It was a long journey to find your offensive coordinator, but you found one in Dave Canales. How would you assess his coaching this season?
I thought he had a great year. I really thought he did a heck of a job coming in first time out, coming in with a new quarterback, 4 out of 5 starting offensive linemen, and putting his system in, working with what he had, with the cap money we had and dead money, not giving him too many more pieces to add. He had some pieces here, but working the way he did, getting to know these guys and figuring out how to get these guys open in the pass game, how to get the run game better, and those coaches working as a whole together. Goody, Joe, Thad, Brad, all those guys, Skip, did a heck of a job, and Dave was the spearhead in that, and he did a heck of a job this year for his first year out.
If you was to get a promotion, would your next OC be on the staff, or would that be another outside search?
We would have to interview that process. We got a lot of qualified guys here, and then there's some qualified guys outside, so we'll see.
When you look at the job Rashad White did, being a wire-to-wire starter in his first year as a full-time starting running back for you, just give me your impression on how he was able to manage that workload and your assessment of his play this year.
It was great to see him grow from a mental standpoint. He was always talented physically. Being a running back is not just carrying the football and running, trying to find daylight. He's got to know where the hole is before the hole opens. He's got to know where the blocking is. He got to know how to pick up pressures. He runs pass routes. He does a lot of things from a growth standpoint and a mental standpoint, where he was frustrated early in the first few weeks. He kind of eased into it and figured it out, and Skip did a heck of a job coaching him, and Rashad is going to be a heck of a football player. He already is, but mentally, just knowing where the holes are and playing faster and playing smarter, and he got a lot better at protecting the football, where he let a few go early in the season, and you can't say enough about its growth. You can see it as the weeks went on, as the months went on, and I'm very proud of where he is.
I think you were asked this after the game yesterday, but in the end game, after the Mayfield pick, in the final 2 minutes, the Lions were taking a knee in victory formation with 12, 13 seconds left on the play clock. Is there, like, in terms of not taking your last time out, is there like a gentleman's agreement, if you don't do it on the first 2 like that you're just going to end the game?
It's not a gentleman's agreement. They were in field goal range. We'd have had 12 seconds calculated after using that timeout to come back from it. Then we would have been down 11 points. It's kind of pointless. You kind of know when the game is over, and the game was over.
Do you cringe, Todd, do you cringe at all or allow yourself to even think of Mike Evans playing in another team's jersey?
I don't even think about it. I don't like to be asked about it. I don't want to know about it, and I hope the hell that does not happen.
As far as the timeouts go, do folks make too big of a deal about coaches leaving those on the table? Because you're not the only one that finishes games at times where there are timeouts that you still have in your pocket.
I don't know what good is using the timeout if you can't take advantage of it.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.